Welcome everyone to this yoga chair class. So I was requested to focus more on the shoulders and the upper body today. So that's what we're going to do. That doesn't mean we're not going to use the lower body. It just means we're going to put our focus into the shoulder area, into the upper body, just a little bit more. Okay. So, but before we do that, and we have, you're going to need a strap or a tie or something like that, or a pretty scarf, and then a block or a rolled up towel or something that we can use some engagement in the thighs. So we're not going to use those right this moment. So we're just going to place them down off to the side, and we're just going to center ourselves on our chair. So making sure that your feet are firmly planted, equal distance, usually putting the ankles right underneath the knees and in line with the hips. And then plunking your buttocks down into your chair. And most of the time you're going to sit on the front part of the chair. You're not going to lean yourself back because we want to sit up nice and tall. We want to use our skeleton system and our muscles in our core to hold us upright. So already we're starting to engage in parts of the body. Okay, so and just rest your hands on your lap and then just close your eyes. And then just bring yourself to your center. So when I say bringing yourself to your center, that means first of all being aware of all that's around you. And then release all that and then go inwards. So as you go inwards, feeling yourself sitting on the chair, noticing the sensations there with your feet touching the ground, how it feels to hold yourself up, and then begin to do a scan of the body. Really taking time to notice how the body is today on this Monday morning. It might feel different than the weekend. It might feel different than last week. So take a look at how the bones are feeling, how your muscles are feeling, your joints are feeling. And remembering that there's going to be some really big sensation in different parts of the body. Today, mine actually is really funny. It's in my shoulder area, my arm area. I wonder if that's coincidental. Anyway, you're going to notice some really big sensations, but you're also going to notice some really, really subtly whispery sensations. So try to pay attention to as many as you can. So, and not getting frustrated if you can't you're not going to get all of them in, but they're going to come and go. Some of them are going to stay a little longer, and a lot of them are just going to come and go, just like your thoughts. So take a look up in your mind as well too, and just seeing your thought process, as well as your emotional state. And then whenever you're ready, you can begin to become aware of your breathing. Don't change it, just acknowledge it, and just watch it move through your body. Noticing how the breath is today. So in yoga, we learn a lot of teachings. Yoga can teach us a lot of things. And some of the things that the yoga teaches us is to be kind, to really be aware of how we're treating ourselves and others. So being kind with our actions, our thoughts, and our speech. It also reminds us to be truthful. So really finding the truth that's in your body. So that's your sensations, just really witnessing them. You can't get any truer than that. And listening, really paying attention to what your body is trying to tell you. Okay, and yoga also teaches us to be moderate. So moderation and be aware of our limitations and other limitations, boundaries, not being too greedy, being patient, and having gratitude. Gratitude for what we can do, what we're capable of. Yoga also teaches us to become disciplined in our habits and be patient, because some good habits, well, most all habits, especially the good ones, take time. And it takes time to change from one habit to another one if we're trying to get rid of something. It takes time. So just acknowledge all of that. And yoga teaches us to focus. So we're going to really focus now on the breath. Really pay attention more towards the breath as the breath gets a little bit deeper and a little bit slower. And yoga teaches us as we're breathing that we can fill ourselves up. We can take in all the goodness, all the life prana, all that energy. And then we can, as we exhale, we can just let it out, let go of that breath, and then let go of anything else that just is not needed at this moment. So with every breath, fill yourself up with new energy, and then let out all the old stuff, all the old clutter that you don't need anymore. And that can be thoughts, pictures, an idea, anything, absolutely anything. Maybe some soreness in a muscle or something like that. Just wash it out, flood it out, and just really focus on it. So as we're breathing, the breath is getting a little bit deeper, a little bit slower. We're starting to get into that yogic breathing where the belly starts to move outwards, and we're expanding through the sides of the body, through the chest and through the back. I'm just feeling that breath moving in and out of you. Okay, and then we're going to direct that breath once you've got that breath really going. And take your time, everyone's at a different speed. You're going to focus now and direct that breath towards your shoulders. So when I'm talking about the shoulders, there's a lot of things that attach to the shoulders. So we're also thinking about the neck, the upper part of the shoulders, the arms, the top of the arm, the underneath part of the arm, the armpits, and then the upper chest and the upper back. So we're going to be dealing with all of that because everything is connected, and even moving down through the body. Everything is connected, just like everything out there in the world is connected in some way. Every time you do something, you create a ripple effect, and that ripple effect connects to something else, and that connects to something else, and so on and so on and so on. Just like in your body, exactly the same thing. When you move a part of your body, there's a ripple effect, and but that movement or whatever you're doing will move throughout the body. So sometimes we think, oh, well, this hurts or that hurts, and it's not because you moved or did something to that part of the body. You did something else somewhere else. So like if there's issues with the hips, sometimes it's not the hips at all. Sometimes it's the shoulders or the ankle, but we're all connected. So focus on those shoulders and that upper body, the neck, top of the shoulders, the arms, the armpits, the upper chest and the upper back, and just breathe into that space. And really begin to notice the sensations that are coming out of that area. We hold a lot of tension in the shoulders. That's pretty much, it's a big, big, big place to hold tension. It usually begins in the face, and then it moves down. When the face has had enough, it moves down into the shoulders and in the neck. And that's when we wake up in the morning, we're usually pretty stiff in those areas. Yes, in other areas as well too, but a lot in the shoulder and the upper torso area for sure. So really check out how you're feeling. different sensations that are moving through. And nothing might be painful, but there's going to be sensations. So sensations don't need to be painful. They can be tickly, they can be twitchy, they can be throbbing, they can be, maybe you just feel like a blanket's being put on top of something, like maybe a heaviness, or maybe a lightness, or absolutely anything. Something might feel cold, something might feel warm or hot. So I'm talking about any sensation at all that you feel. Okay, and then keep that breath going, moving that breath through the shoulders, through the neck, through the arms, the armpit, through the upper back, through your upper chest. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, we're just gonna start with the face first. We're just gonna start to move the face. So how do you move your face? Well, we're just gonna maybe open up the eyes a little bit wider. And as you open up the eyes a little bit wider, do you feel anything in your shoulders? And then squeeze the eyes really, really, really tight. And then do that a couple more times. Just moving with your breath, open up the eyes a little bit wider. And squeeze the eyes out. And do that one more time. And just notice if you find anything in the shoulder area. You might feel something there. Everything's connected, as I said. Okay, then let's move the attention now into the cheek area and the jaw area. Okay, so we're gonna open up our mouths wide. And then squeeze and maybe clench your teeth. Squeeze the lips together. And then again, open up your mouth wide. You need to stick out your tongue too. And then squeeze everything out. Inhale, open up the mouth wide, sticking out your tongue. And exhale, squeeze everything out again. And then just taking a pause here and just noticing what you notice. Do you notice the feeling in maybe in your neck or your shoulders? If you really pay attention, more than likely you're going to feel something. Okay. So coming back to that breath, and we're going to start just to move the head forward and back now. Forward and back. Nice and slow and easy. And as we're doing this, you might feel some things happening in the upper back, maybe in the chest, maybe in the shoulders. Everyone's going to feel something different. So we're not swinging the head forward and back too quickly. We're just moving in time with our breath, taking our time, feeling those sensations. Okay, and then we're going to bring the head back to center. Take a pause here. Bring the shoulders up towards your ears, and then slowly bring them back down again. Settle them down, and then we're going to look towards the right and the left. So just looking over one shoulder, trying to keep the shoulders down, come back to center, and then over towards the other shoulder. So again, just going at your own pace. And remembering, if something that we're doing just isn't seeming right to you, and just not feeling good, and you're experiencing some pain, then only do bits and pieces of whatever we're doing, or use your imagination and imagine that you're doing whatever we're doing. The imagination is a very, very powerful tool, and you'll still get all the benefits. Your brain knows. Your brain, if you imagine enough, your brain's going to kick in, and you're going to probably even feel it a little bit in through the muscles, but in a more gentler way. Okay, over towards the other side, looking over that shoulder, not forcing it, remember our limitations. And then coming back to center. Take a moment here, and then bring those shoulders up towards the ears, and back down again. Let's do that one more time. Up towards the ears, squeeze them up there, and then release and let them go. Okay, so we're gonna take our block or our towel or whatever you've got to put into your thighs. You wanna activate the legs a little bit. So we're gonna just squeeze the block. Now don't squeeze so much that you that it feels really sore. You just wanna hold on to whatever you're putting in between your thighs, just so it doesn't slip. So you're gonna feel some activation in the legs now. And so as I said, everything is connected. So when you squeeze this, you're probably gonna be feeling things in your pelvis, your buttocks, down your legs, maybe even down into your feet, and maybe even up into the core. You're probably going to be feeling those things. Just notice if you do or you don't. Nothing's wrong if you do or you don't. Just pay maybe a little bit more attention. And just have your strap ready. We're just gonna leave that on our laps for now. So let's focus just a little bit on the lower body just to get some activation happening here. So direct your attention, maybe close your eyes. And we're going to squeeze a little bit more just to really feel that activation. And then we're going to let it go, but we're still having everything activated because we don't want to have that, whatever between our thighs, we don't want to have it slipping and falling on the ground. So exhale, we're going to squeeze it. And inhale, we're going to relax. Exhale, squeeze everything out. Inhale, relax. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale, relax. Good. Okay, so now just keep that block there and notice the activation in your body. Equal weight between your feet, equal weight between your buttocks. Okay, let's direct our attention now towards the shoulders again. Take those shoulders, bring them up towards your ears, all the way up as high as you can go, and then slowly release them and come all the way down. Do it again. Inhale to lift them all the way up, and then exhale, bring them all the way down. Okay, this time we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So bring the shoulders up towards the ears and then slowly roll them down and back. The chest is going to open. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders come all the way up. Remember, you're squeezing something between your thighs. Keep that activated. Rolling the shoulders down. Let's do that 1 more time. Shoulders up towards the ears and slowly roll them all the way down. Take a moment here, and we're going to go in the opposite direction. Shoulders are coming up towards the ears, and we're going to round forwards, and then bring those shoulders all the way down. So you're going to open up the back here. Inhale, shoulders come up towards the ears, and round them down. 1 more time. Up towards the ears, and round them down. Okay, let's bring the arms all the way up. Now, my left arm is not cooperating today, so it's not going to go up very high. So we're just going to hold it here. And then we're going to take the right arm and we're going to bring it right across our body. Take the left arm and we're just going to hold on to that tricep and pull that tricep closer towards us. Soften the shoulders down. Stretch out those fingers. Sitting up nice and tall, squeezing that block. Pushing our feet and our seat into the chair and breathing. Lots going on here. Notice. So much is going on here in the body. Notice as much as you possibly can. I'm taking 1 more breath here. Feeling that right back shoulder blade really stretching out. Okay, and then on your next inhale, take that right arm, raise it all above your head, and then bring it all the way back down. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the left arm. So bring arms out again, and then take that left arm and bring it across you. Okay, and then take that right arm and hold that. Oh, this feels good. Hold that shoulder and that upper arm close to your body. Spread out your fingers on your left hand. So relax the shoulders, relax your faces. You can close your eyes or open up your eyes, up to you. Root down through your feet equally and your bottom, sitting up nice and tall. Breathe deeply. Feel the activation in the body as you're squeezing that block. Not too much. It's just gentle. Breathe. Remembering there's lots of stuff happening here. Notice what's happening. Try not to react to anything that's happening, but just notice. Correcting anything that you need to adjust or correct. Take one more breath here. Okay, and then release that. And then a big circle with the left arm, and my arm's not going to go up that high, so I'm not going to do it. And then bring those arms back down. Okay, so the arms are down by your side. You're just going to wiggle the fingers a little bit. And as you wiggle the fingers, just noticing the sensations that are coming up into the arm and into the shoulder. Okay, we're going to bring the arms all the way out in front of us. Remember, my left arm is having an issue here today, so I'm not going to move it too much. So arms are going to come out, and then we're going to open up nice and wide, and we're going to bring our arms into cactus arms. Okay, cactus arms. So relax your shoulders. We're going to try to have that upper arm at about 90-degree angle. Okay, bending into the elbows. And again, everyone's going to be different. I mean, look at the difference between my arms. And that's totally fine. You know, yoga, we want to have yoga meet us where we are. This is where I am today, and everyone's going to be totally different. And that's one good thing about yoga. It's going to meet us where we are, what's going on in our lives. Okay, so we're going to take an inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to try to bring those elbows and the palms of our hands together in front of us. Going nice and slow. Inhale, we're going to open up again. Just noticing all the different sensations. We might squeeze the shoulder blades together in our back. Keep the shoulders down. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. Exhale. Squeeze the elbows. We're going to try to bring the elbows and the hands together. And then inhale, open. Let's do that 2 more times, going nice and slow. Spread out those fingers. Exhale, squeeze the arms together, elbows and hands. Inhale, open. And one last time. Exhale. And inhale. Okay, let's bring the arms down just to release that for a moment. Just notice. Take a couple of breaths. You might notice more sensations now or less. Okay, let's bring the arms all the way back up, and we're going to move our arms into eagle arms. So we're going to take the right arm and we're going to bring it on top of the left arm. Elbows are bent. And we're going to twist the arms around. And sometimes the arms are going to twist the way they want to twist. Don't worry how much. They might even have to just come at the wrist area. So you be the judge of this, okay? And then bring those elbows right down by your chest. Soften your shoulders. Maybe sit up a little bit taller. We're spreading out those shoulder blades from one another and from the spine. We're squeezing inwards. Fingers are pointing upwards. So just going where you can go. Not forcing it, breathing through it. And if all of this is just too much, just maybe twist your fingers around and use your imagination that you're getting right into this pose. But don't struggle with it. Okay, everyone's looking great. Okay, let's take a couple more breaths here. Soften through the shoulders. Try not to squeeze so much that you're changing your breath. Your breath should be nice and slow and deep. That's a really good indicator. The breath, if the breath starts to get a little bit quicker, a little bit more shallow, you know that you're going into a different range. You're putting a little bit too much effort. There's going to be some struggling going on. So ease off and the breath will go back to a nice, long, deep, soft, easy breath. because that's what we want. We want to have a nice long breath. That's going to really fill us up and energize us. Okay, let's start to move these arms a little bit. So as we inhale, we're just going to reach those fingertips up towards the ceiling, just as far as they will go. And then exhale, bring them down towards the chest. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift the fingers up. And exhale, squeeze them out. Now we're just going to move a little bit more. So inhale, lift the fingers up, and we can maybe tilt a little bit backwards, opening up the chest a little bit more. And then exhale, bring the elbows down, and maybe we can round over a little bit. Not too much. Just go at your own pace. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold forward just a little bit. Squeeze it all out. One more time. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, squeeze it out. Round out that back. Soften through the shoulders. Okay, and then on your inhale, come back to your center. Come back right here. Slowly unwind your arms. Open them up, nice and wide. Notice sensations, and then bring them all the way down. And just let them hang. Let them hang. Let gravity take them. And just notice. Notice any sensations that might be happening here. Keeping that breath nice and long and deep. Noticing the big sensations, the little sensations. You're still squeezing that block. Still feeling some activation in the buttocks and the legs, maybe even in the core. Okay, let's do the other side now. Inhale the arms all the way back up again. And this time, the right arm is going to come underneath the left arm. So bend at the elbows, underneath, bending at the elbows, and twisting the arms together. And settling those elbows down towards your chest. Fingers are pointing upwards. So again, this is going to feel totally different on this side. Totally different. You're going to notice different things. So feeling that, still that activation in the lower body. Holding that, whatever you have between your thighs, holding that there. And just finding a place where you can soften here through the shoulders. Feeling your shoulder blades. Moving away gently from your spine. Keeping the breath long and deep. Noticing what's happening here. And again, going to where you can go. So being aware of your limitations, your boundaries. Moderation. Using the imagination if you need to. Remember, we're not trying to struggle here. Notice how the breath is responding to this. The breath decides to get a little shallower, a little quicker. Change what you're doing. And see how the breath responds. Okay, so let's start to move here. Let's inhale the fingers up and exhale the elbows in towards our chest. We're not moving our upper body yet. Do that one more time. Inhale the fingers up, just as far as they will go. And exhale, squeeze the elbows in towards the chest. Now we're going to start to move the body. So inhale the fingers up, little back bend here. And exhale, bring the elbows down towards the chest and round out, little forward bend. So just going where you can go. Inhale, lift those fingers up. And exhale, squeeze it all in. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift up. Soften through the shoulders if you possibly can. Exhale, round out. And then inhale, come back to center. And just take a moment here just to notice. Soften where you need to soften. And then on your next breath, Slowly unwind the arms, slowly release them. You're going to notice different things. Open up the arms nice and slowly, nice and wide. And then bring those arms down. Allow gravity to take those arms. Soften through the shoulders. Notice. Okay, let's bring our hands now onto the thighs. And we're going to bring those shoulders up towards the ears again. And then back down. One more time, up towards the ears. And back down. And just notice how when you just do that, let's do that one more time. When you do that, how the connection is through the rest of the body. Notice what's moving as we move those shoulders up. And notice what's happening when we move the shoulders all the way back down. How many muscles and different things in the body just got worked. Okay, so take your strap or your, whatever you got, your scarf. Okay, we're gonna have it around shoulder width. Okay, I'm gonna start on our thighs. So approximately shoulder width, but adjust it. Okay, so adjust it to suit you. Okay, so if you need to adjust it at any time. And we're just going to have them resting on our block or on our knees for a moment here. And holding on to it and pulling a little bit. Don't squeeze your hand so much that it hurts the hand. We don't want that, okay? So holding on, but pulling. Okay, and the strap is just, or the scarf is just resting on your legs right now, but you're pulling it away from each other. So just doing that, just noticing the activation in your upper chest, maybe even in your neck, in your upper back, and in your shoulders, and what's happening here as you're just doing this very, very simple thing, pulling it. Okay, now release it, relax. Just notice what you notice. And let's do that again. Pull it. And this time we're gonna just lift it up a little bit. Lift it off the lap. We're pulling it. Try to sit up nice and tall. We're still holding onto that block, still having an activation in the body, rooting down through the feet and the seat, pulling the strap or the scarf away from each other. So not clenching your hands so much that you're not being able to feel what's happening in the arms, but just noticing what's happening now. Lots is happening. Breathe through it. Just as long as it's not painful, breathe through it. And then on your next exhale, release and just let it go. Soften through the hands. And again, just notice, just allow yourself to just rest your arms on your lap. Let's take a moment. Then we're going to bring the arms up a little bit more. The arms do not need to be straight. So on your next inhale, holding onto that scarf or strap, pull it away from you, and then slowly move up. Going to only go where you can go. So we're pulling, feeling an activation right through the entire arm and the shoulders. Go up as far as you can go, and that might be all the way above your head. I'm going to stop here because that's enough for me. And I'm just going to keep pulling it, but you can go right up above your head. The elbows can be as bent as you like. Soften through your shoulders, soften your face. If at any time your breath starts to change, maybe change what you're doing, get it right back to a nice, long, deep breath, the belly breathing. So we're still rooting down through our feet, rooting down through our seat, feeling our entire bodies activated here, breathing through it. We're putting our bodies into a stressful situation right now, but it's a good stressful situation. We're practicing. Okay, on your next exhale, slowly bring it down. We're still pulling it away from you. from each hand, slowly, slowly bringing it all the way down. This can take a few breaths. All the way down until the arms are on here, on our lap again. Just release the strap, bring our arms down, spread out the fingers nice and wide, wiggle them around, maybe squeeze and spread a couple of times, wiggle those fingers down. And then bring the shoulders again up towards your ears and release them back down again. One more time, up towards the ears and release them back down again. Okay, stay for a moment here. Okay, we actually are going to get up for at least one time and then we'll sit back down. So we're going to stand up. You're going to need to hold on to the seat of the chair. Or you can also do this against the wall if you like. So we're going to go into a forward fold or a downward dog, but we're going to focus on the shoulders, okay? So we're going to bend forward, holding onto the seat of the chair. Walk the feet back. Now we're not dealing with the feet too much or the legs, so really bend into it. And my arm is not cooperating, so I'm not going to do too much, but bend into the knees, okay? Push your feet firmly into the ground. Have your buttocks pushing back. And then stretch out those arms and shoulders, feeling the shoulder blades spread away from the spine. The neck is long. It's right between your arms. We're stretching out the entire back into the shoulders, into the arms. Just going to where you can go. Okay, we're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Just noticing, making any adjustments that you need to make this feel the way you want to make it feel. Noticing sensations, noticing if your breath changes at all. Try to keep it nice and long and deep. Just noticing, see if you can relax a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna slowly come back. And then roll ourselves up nice and slowly. And then just stand in a Tadasana, mountain pose, just for a couple of moments. So root down through your feet. If you need to hold on to something, please do. You can close your eyes. Soften through the chest, have the chest open. Squeeze, you're not squeezing your shoulder blades. The shoulder blades are moved away from each other, but your chest is open as well. Soften through the shoulders, your face. Spread out your fingers. Grow yourself out towards the ceiling. Crown of the head is reaching up high. Feet are pressing into the ground. Breath is long and deep and slow. Okay, and then we're going to sit back down into our chairs. So get your chair, sit back down, grab that block again, or whatever you had between your thighs. You're going to bring it back. So place your feet first, sit up nice and tall. Bring whatever you had in your thighs. Just notice how that feels again. It might feel totally different. You might need to adjust your body. Just take a moment here, finding that activation. And just notice how it feels now to sit. Bring yourself back to your breath. Feel it moving right through your body. And then focus a little bit more now onto the shoulder area. So remembering everything is connected. So the neck, top of the shoulders, this upper part of your chest, your arms, your upper back, your shoulder blades, that's all part of it. We'll focus just on that. Okay, so get your scarf again. We're just gonna flip it over the left shoulder. Okay, then take your left hand and just reach back. Mine's not gonna reach very much. You can reach towards that strap. So the arm's just gonna go back behind you. So you're holding on to the strap behind you, okay? We're just gonna hold it here for a moment, just allowing the arms and the shoulder just to open up a little bit more. See if maybe you can move that hand towards the right, maybe a little bit more. Not forcing it again, just noticing sensations. Sitting up nice and tall. And again, adjusting it. So we don't want to have any pain here. Remember, we're trying to find some calmness, noticing our limitations, being disciplined about that, using our imagination if we need to. So just this is a lot. Okay, so now we're going to take that right hand and we're going to reach it up if we can, maybe behind us. And maybe you can grab hold of that strap that's on your left shoulder and see if you can grab it. So we're going like that. Okay, and the fingers can come closer to one another as we move into the pose. You don't have to do that right now. Okay, so we're not necessarily trying to touch the hands together. We don't need to. More instead, try to see if you can have the shoulders soften, but take that right elbow and see if you can direct it more up towards the ceiling without forcing it. Go to where you can go. The elbow might still be pointing forwards, and that's fine. Okay, so just go to where you can go. We want to make sure that we're not moving the head forwards. The head should still be erect. So if whatever you're doing with your arms is pushing your head and moving it forward, change your arm. Okay, so just going where do you go, and then just finding your place here. If you can bring your hands together to touch, great. If they don't, like mine are not going anywhere close, don't worry about it. That's not the point of this exercise. We're trying to open up through the chest, relax through the shoulders. And for some people, this is going to be a very powerful shoulder opener. It's really going to open up the shoulders a lot. So still feeling some activation in the lower body as well as we squeeze whatever we have between our thighs, rooting down into our seat and with our feet, rooting into the ground, breathing nice long deep breaths. I'm going to hold it here for one more breath. We're not squeezing that strap or anything, just holding on to it nice and loose. Okay, and then slowly we're going to move, let go of it. Let go of that arm. Let go of the other arm. Bring it down, noticing any sensations. Just take a moment here before we give ourselves a hug. Just take a moment, notice. Okay, and then you can give yourself a hug. So it doesn't matter which arm is on top. Whatever arm feels the best, you're just going to give yourself a little hug. And if you like, you can rest your head against the top arm shoulder. Your arms might not reach all the way to grab hold of your shoulder blades. Don't worry about that. Notice if your elbows or your shoulders are lifted. See if you can relax them. The head might not even move towards that shoulder. Don't worry. Just give yourself a little hug here. Spreading out the shoulders. And then release it. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking your strap and then just bring it over top of the right shoulder this time. So just leave the left hand down on your thigh and take the right hand and reach it back. Okay, don't worry about the strap yet. Just reach it back and see how far towards that left side that arm can go. We're still sitting up nice and tall, so we don't want to cave in or anything. So just find out what works for you. Just holding it there. And notice the difference between one side and the other side. There's going to definitely be a difference. Okay, so now we can take that right hand and grab hold of that strap if you haven't already. Just holding on to it, nice loosely. Don't squeeze it so much. Just holding on to it. Okay. So the hands should be somewhat in the middle of your back. Somewhat. Soften through your shoulders. And then you're going to take your left hand. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this today. I'm going to imagine that I am, because there's no way I'm going to be able to do this one today. I'm going to be able to go here. So you're going to reach your left hand backwards and try to grab hold of that strap. And the elbow will be facing whatever way that elbow wants to face. But remember, we don't want to have the elbow or the arm pressing on the head so it brings it forward. We want to keep the head nicely in line with the spine. Okay, we don't want it jutting forward or going backwards. We want it right in between the shoulders. Soften through the shoulders. And then just open up through the chest. Just going where you can go. And breathing and noticing. Notice the sensations that are coming out of this. Don't force anything. So we're still having an activation with that, whatever's between your thighs. And feeling ourselves rooted down through our seat and our feet. Feeling the spine lengthening upwards towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades are not squeezing together. We're still having some openness in those shoulder blades. Shoulder blades are moving away from each other. At the same time, the chest is opening. Shoulders are opening, but they're soft. And just noticing as much as you can. With every breath, see if you can just soften a little bit more. Eyes can be open or closed, up to you. Just be aware. Notice what's going on in your body, in your mind, in your emotional state. Just breathe and relax into the pose. Not having really any expectations or what's going to happen. Just allow everything to evolve. We often say yoga is a journey. It's never ending. Kind of like, you know, in a way, life is a journey as well too. Yes, we have in life, we do have a beginning and an end, but you know, that end is not an end totally. Because we're all made up of energy, and that energy just moves somewhere else. Okay, let's take one more breath here. And then slowly we're going to release and relax. Release those arms. Take that strap or scarf and just place it down on your lap or on the ground. We're not going to use it any longer. And just take a moment here. Just notice. And then you're going to give yourself a hug. So wrap your arms around. See if you did the right arm above, then do the left arm above this time. Just give yourself a hug. You can bring your head over towards one side, or maybe you want to tuck your chin this time. Try to keep the shoulders soft and just reach around, going towards those shoulder blades, whether you reach them or not, doesn't matter. Just giving yourself a nice hug here. Moving the head in any direction that feels comfortable for you. Just take a few breaths. Feeling the shoulder blades slide away from each other. Nice, long, deep breaths. Okay, and then we're going to release. And just place our hands on our thighs. Take a moment here. Okay. Then we're going to remove this, whatever we have between our thighs. And we're just going to open and close the knees back and forth. Let's open and close them a little bit. And then just paying attention to even just this little movement, how with our hands on the knees or on the thighs, how we're feeling even the arms and the shoulders are moving. Very slightly, but you can feel that activation and that motion all the way up your body, all the way down your body. Okay, let's bring our legs back to center again. Sitting up nice and tall. We're just going to do one little twist. So we're going to go towards the left side first. So taking your right hand, place it on the outside of your left thigh, and then taking the left arm and just moving it over towards the outer edge of the side of your chair, sitting up nice and tall. So even just this, you're going to feel something in the shoulders more than likely too. Maybe not, I don't know. Soften through the shoulders. We're twisting right through the middle of the spine. If you want to have your head go a little bit further and your eyes a little bit further still, be my guest. Do that. Just take a moment. Just breathe. Noticing how this feels. Okay, and then we're going to come back to center. Take a moment here, noticing how it felt on that side. And then when you're ready, we'll move over towards the other side. So taking your right hand, going towards the back of the chair, the left hand's going to go over towards the outer edge of your right thigh, and you're just going to move yourself nice and slow towards the right side. Trying to keep those knees still over top of those ankles. Shoulders are soft. If you want to move your head a little bit further and your eyes a little bit further too, go ahead, you can do that. Just don't force anything. We're still nicely, slowly breathing, deep breaths. Okay, one more breath here. And then slowly bring yourself all the way back. And then just take a moment here. Okay, let's do one more. Shoulders up towards the ears. And bring them back. No, that felt good. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, shoulders up towards the ears. And this time we're going to roll them back and soften them down. And then we're going to slowly just lean ourselves back. No, you know what? Before we do that, I think we're going to do maybe 2 cat and cows, just because we've been sitting up nice and tall for such a long time and activating our legs and stuff. So we're just going to lean ourselves forward, do a little cow here. And then exhale, round it out, pushing our backs of the spines towards the chair. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, push back. Good. Come back up to center. Now we're going to lean ourselves back into our chairs. Extend our legs. If you want to do Savasana on the ground, go ahead. We're just going to have a little Savasana here. And you can just bring your arms to wherever they feel comfortable. Relax your shoulders down. Your head can tilt forward if you like, or you can keep it up. We're not staying here for very long. If you wish, after this practice, I highly recommend that you get on the ground and just lie down on your back and just relax. And just stay there for a little while, feeling the connection of your body against the ground. Savasana in the chair isn't always the best, but it'll do for now. So just allow yourself to let go here. See if you can soften as much of your body as you possibly can. Just slowly going through the face, The shoulders and the arms, the hands, the upper body, the lower body. Softening and letting go with the breath as well too, so the breath doesn't have to be controlled anymore. Your own natural rhythm totally takes over. Allow the legs to surrender and soften, let go. Just becoming really soft. Just feeling the breath moving through the body. Bringing in the energy and then letting go of anything you don't need. Take 2 more breaths like this. And again, I invite you after we finish, if you just want to lie down on the ground and or on the couch, and then just take some time to relax. Relaxing is not laziness. We need to relax. Even though it's in the morning, we still relaxing and sleeping. It's not exactly the same thing. We want to be awake when we're relaxing. So I'm not saying we have to go to sleep. Relaxing and being aware of it. So you're fully awake. Totally different from sleeping. Okay. So now begin to bring your awareness back to your body. You might have moved away. Start to wiggle the fingers and toes, bringing some movement back in. Maybe moving the head from side to side. Maybe wiggling the shoulders, wiggling the hips, the legs back and forth. And then slowly bringing yourself up. Doing anything else that you feel like you need to do. And then sitting yourself back up, wiggling around a little bit, maybe in your seat. And then finding a nice, comfortable seat again. Just taking some time here. Just closing your eyes again. And just taking inventory. Just noticing what there is to notice right now. Just this very moment. Noticing your breath, noticing your body, your emotions, anything else that comes up. And then take some time just to acknowledge your practice and reflect on that practice, on how what we did, how that made you feel. Just thinking about all that yoga teaches us about the kindness and our limitations, moderation, gratitude, just going through it, your reflection of your practice today, and just noticing how you were, how did everything go? Were you disciplined? Were you able to keep focused? Did you respect your boundaries? Were you kind? Were you aware? Did the mind take a little walk at some points? And that's normal, totally normal. Happens all the time to everybody. So don't be hard on yourself for that at all. The mind wanders, you just keep bringing it back. Just like a dog that keeps wandering away, you just keep bringing them back. And eventually, maybe, perhaps, one day, it will stay a little bit more focused. It's always a work in progress. That's why this is called a practice. That's why this is a journey. Okay, let's bring our hands towards our hearts, bow our heads down, and give ourselves some gratitude here for being here, sharing our practice, for being aware, for trying different things, learning about how we are today. Thanks very much for joining me today. Let's take one breath in and create a beautiful Om sound together. Take a breath in through the nose, sigh it out through your mouth, let it go. And then take a nice big breath in and let it out with a beautiful Om. May my light and positive energy in me shine brightly and go towards your light and positive energy that resides in all of you. Namaste.